They still work.
I know.
They still work. We haven't been here in a couple of weeks,
Testing.
but the microphones still work. As far as I know. I don't know. They might have...
Life's been hard. Busy. Life's been busy.
Life's been busy.
Well, and matter of fact, today, my son has an operation, and Jason's son is in jail. And we're still giving you a podcast because we haven't given you one in the last couple of weeks.
It's true. It's true. He killed someone. I didn't see it coming, but I shouldn't have left the knife out. So,
no, you shouldn't have.
And that kid shouldn't have called him short.
Yeah,
because he's not even that short. He's tall for his age. It was a bad move, and he stabbed the kid in the neck. He's been listening to too much Ice Cube. Yeah,
I love Cube.
Actually, on the way back from the doctor today, he got a speech from Carmen about the Ice Cube. She's like, we got to talk about that music you listen to in the morning. Because he listens to Ice Cube every morning.
Does he?
I think he likes starting with Today Was a Good Day, which is a great song to start your day to.
Does he tell you he didn't have to use his AK?
He hasn't yet. I don't think he doesn't know what an AK is, though. He'll tell you that it's a gun. But Ice Cube has that song, and then he goes on to a bunch of songs about killing white people,
and killing cops,
and
all
he
that,
says fag, and he, like all that stuff, and
that's old school, man.
And and the N word's obviously used a lot, and she's telling him that maybe he can't listen to Ice Cube in the morning, but I had to take a stand. I was like, I don't know, I think Ice Cube's pretty all right. It's much better than Drake. I was so proud of him the other day. He told me he didn't know who Drake was because the guy came up. He's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "You don't know who Drake is?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "You know Ice Cube and DMX and Outkast and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. You know all them. You love them. Know their lyrics. You don't know who Drake is?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm doing it right."
He knows their songs. I guarantee you. He knows a bunch of Drake songs.
I don't know if he does. He don't listen to the radio.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he listens to Spotify, and all he ever does is listen to old school hip hop.
Yeah, you know what? He does that on the outside. If you sneak into his room when he's not expecting you, he's listening to like Bruno Mars or something.
He likes Bruno Mars.
Does he?
No, that's one of the ones, but he never turns it on himself. But he likes Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
He likes some of that other shit. Don't get me wrong. He'll like some of Carmen's country shit. He'll like, he likes some kitty shit. He does still that stuff. Not like kitty porn.
Yeah, like Bieber and shit.
Speaking of kitty porn.
Speaking of.
No, I don't have anything with kitty porn.
All right, well, you know what?
Anything
it's been a couple weeks since we've talked to him, and, we'll straighten out. Things will be normal, but I have a real serious asshole of the week.
Oh, we're going asshole like
I want to go to it right
asshole.
away because it's been on my mind for 2 days.
Yeah, all right. It never worked. I've tried to explain it to you, and I feel like I've done an all right job, but apparently not.
You have. I just I think it's white privilege is selective. I mean, I worked my ass off, and you know what I mean, and
I think that's the problem is white people look at it too much as in like actual work and stuff like that, and that's not really what they're talking about. They're talking about the privilege to drive down the street and not worried about the cop pulling you over for no reason.
Well,
shit like that.
These days, they're hiring more and more black officers, so maybe that'll.
You know what they call them? Uncle Toms. All right, those are not exactly.
Now, see, that's a bad thing. They call them Uncle Toms because they're working.
I don't know if they do or not. I don't
I've
know.
heard it.
You got to remember though. It's like they have a different outlook on the cops. It's just completely fucking different. They've dealt with a different cop than you and I have dealt with their whole lives.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at it through their view, or just not look at it at all and go, all right, well, that's their thing.
Well, I'm not denying that I have it, but I just don't feel privileged in
I don't think that has anything to do with this story.
Peter,
you motherfucker.
Peter is my asshole of the week. Now, this fucking guy. He's a Lyft customer. I picked him up in Fort Thomas.
Culty area. I don't like Fort Thomas.
Yeah, that's where he was.
It's a nice area, but it's very culty. All those people are kind of snobby. They're
a little snobby, even though their houses aren't huge or anything like that.
Oh, there's some big spots in Fort Thomas.
Well, not where Peter lived.
Okay, fair enough.
So I pick up Peter, and I've got WLW on the phone.
Well, that's your problem.
Or on the radio. And first thing he says is, man, the Hit King died.
The Hit King.
And I went, yeah. I said, everybody in the town is, sharing their fucking stories about Pete Rose. And I will start my little rant here by saying greatest baseball player that ever played the game.
And I will start in your rant and say you're fucking full of shit. He could hit the ball.
There was never.
He was a good hitter. That's not the
never,
greatest baseball player.
There was never a guy. He earned his name Charlie Hustle. Believe me, there
No,
was
that
never
was
a guy
cool.
that tried
No.
harder.
True.
Okay,
but that's not.
He played with broken fingers, broken bones. These guys now they twist their ankle, they're out for a month. I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah, sure, but he's not the greatest baseball player ever. All right, I have a hard time even calling him the greatest hitter ever because, in my opinion, that's Tony Gwynn.
No, Tony Gwynn was a phenomenal
Pete
hitter.
Rose, what he did was he was obviously one of the greatest hustlers ever. He was a good hitter. I mean, an excellent hitter, a great hitter. But his biggest thing was longevity.
He's got more wins than anybody.
Well, he played for
planet.
like 25 years.
Yeah,
so
and that's what I'm talking about. He wasn't getting $80 million a fucking year.
Well, they didn't make a lot of
and
money
coming
back
up in his Lamborghini, and he was an athlete.
But that was everybody back then as far as money.
Basically, I hate these fuckers today. Anyway,
Yeah,
Peter goes,
racist.
I said, well, I just don't share everybody's sentiments there, Pete. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, he was a great baseball player. Guy was a pedophile. I said that right to him.
Yeah.
He goes, pedophile? What do you mean? I said, well, he openly admitted to sleeping with and dating a 14-year-old girl when he was 31 years old.
He claims that she was 16. Well, he doesn't
No
even
difference
claim
in
that.
the argument.
But the weird part about it, he claims that they didn't start having sex until she was 16. So it was like, what, you were dating her when she was 14? That's called grooming and still just as fucking creepy if you waited. But but you didn't wait.
Let's say she didn't have sex with him till she was 16. That made him 33. That's still pedophile in my book.
It is, but 16, the reason why he sticks with that number is because at the age of consent was 16 in Ohio at the time. So it wasn't technically against the law, is what Pete Rose. But, okay, for one thing, we're going, Pete Rose is telling the truth. A guy that's never fucking told the truth.
And all these people that are giving these stories about him are saying he never told the truth.
Yes, everybody agrees, but
he's a great guy, but he was a fucking liar.
It's just this culture's natural inclination to blame women or not believe women in these kind of situations. You know what I mean?
Bottom line is he had sex with her or dated her when she was 14, and that's not consent.
That's
I guarantee
weird too.
It's fucked up.
If he dated her when she was 14 and waited till she was 16 to fuck, it's still super gross.
Yeah. And I said to this guy, I said, she's a pedophile. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, he admitted he was 31, she was 14. Mm-hmm. He goes, so wait a second. I'm 62. You telling me that I can't date anyone under 43 or I'm sick?
That's not the same thing.
I said, it's not at all the same. I said, she was a child. Yeah. He was an adult.
Yeah.
You can date a 21-year-old. You can date an 18-year-old, and I won't think bad of you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're creepy.
Yeah.
But you don't see the difference there? And he goes, nope, I don't see the difference.
Well, then he's weird.
So I'm thinking,
fucking,
what an asshole.
Yeah, at this point, I'm dropping my voice. You sound like a pedophile. Get out of my car, sir.
I mean, he's literally trying to relate himself to this. He goes, there's 17-year difference. So I can't date anyone less than 17 years younger than me or I'm sick? I said, no, you can't date a child that's,
Yeah, you can't date a child. That's the bottom line.
And he goes, well, sorry, I just don't agree with you. And then you know what he says? As he's getting out of the car, by the way, you got a headlight out.
Well, that's just being nice. That's just got to be nice.
But this guy was justifying the pedophile
Did
stuff.
You fix your headlight?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, did I fix it? No, not yet. It only had 2 days ago.
Well, I know, but I always had drugs in my car, so I had to get lights fixed quick. That's how you're trying to get pulled over.
I ordered one. They're not in stock. Yeah. So anyway, this guy actually sat there and tried to justify it and bring it into today's terms. Like, well, if he did it today, it'd be no big deal. I was like, no, if he did it today, it wouldn't be a big deal. If he dated somebody 17 years ago.
No, but if he dated the 14-year-old today, it would be a big deal.
Of course.
I mean, that's the issue. It's not the age difference. It's the fact that she was a child.
And he decided he wanted to talk about it a little bit more. And he's like, well, times were different back then. And I said, no, wait a second. Times were different back then. Children stayed children.
Yeah.
Today they grow up real fast. Today they grow up with, women are dressing up like fucking little whores when they're fucking 13 and 14 years old.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sexually,
they're
and stuff,
growing boobs.
Things are going a little bit quicker nowadays.
And I said, back then, they were children.
Not that you can go fuck a 14-year-old right now because they dress a little slutty.
And because they happen to have boobs. No, you're not allowed.
No, they've always had boobs.
But the whole point is, I told him, I said, back then, you were a child until you were 16, 17 years old. You were still considered a kid.
She was a child, dude. That's so
And
gross.
that's what I said. And he goes, well, I'm sorry, man. I just have to disagree with you.
And see,
you're an asshole.
That was always my problem with the whole Pete Rose thing. And just the whole, I don't know. I grew up just never idolizing athletes. That was never a thing for me, and I know it was for a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people I think have a hard time with things like this, you know, and especially in Cincinnati where Pete Rose was an idol for a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
They didn't know at the time that he was a scumbag, you know, like that didn't really come out until, you know, the 90s or so. And the child, or, you know, the fucking kids thing didn't come out until like 10, 12 years ago or something like that. So this hasn't been something everybody's known forever. So I understand why people grew up idolizing Pete Rose. Like I said, I just never got into the idolizing athletes. Like when that Charles Barkley commercial came out where he said, you know, we're not role models, whatever, I'm not a role model. I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, you're not. Like, why are you really good at a sport? That's not, shouldn't be a role model. I mean, I guess if you're, I don't know. I just can't really justify it. But I guess people really, really try to, I don't know, defend their own views or I guess when you talk shit about Pete Rose, since they idolize him, they think you're kind of talking shit about them, you know? And that's a weird way to look at things.
And he also called me short-sighted.
Short-sighted?
Because I didn't agree with that.
That's short-sighted? Because you're not into fucking 14-year-olds?
Right. So, I mean, is there a better asshole of the week than this guy?
He's an asshole. But, I mean, there's literally a million of those assholes right now in Cincinnati that would argue that same exact point.
Well, a lot of people, and I know you hate his guts, but Bill Cunningham, to me, said the greatest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said...
No, don't kid yourself. I love Bill Cunningham. I think he's crazy. Or I don't even think he's crazy. I think he's a genius. I think he's playing people, and I think he plays people really well. And I don't think Bill Cunningham is the guy you hear on the radio, is more what I'm saying. And I think he's an entertainer, and I think he's good at it. So I don't dislike Bill Cunningham.
Well, he was telling his Pete Rose stories.
Cool, dude. That's the dumbest thing to ever bring. Go in there.
We need to feed them.
They were talking about Pete Rose, and he goes, look, I was friends with Pete Rose for a lot of years, and we did this together and that together, and it was really cool. He goes, I know of some of the things he's done in his life, and the way I look at it is, now that he's dead, let's let those kind of die off and talk about the good things that we remember. And I said, well, that's cool. I said, as long as everybody does remember in the back of their head that he was a fucking asshole. In some ways.
That's another thing that's weird.
Children.
You know, when bad people die, you know, when Jeffrey Dahmer got killed, or, you know, everybody's like, well, let's talk about the charity that he gave to in 1986. You know,
he gave $20 to March of Dimes.
Exactly. Like, I'm just saying, like, the idea that when people die, all of a sudden, all the bad things they did in life are thrown out and you should only look at the good stuff and admire them, it's a weird thing. Whatever, just take it for what it is. I think I said it on Facebook. He was one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Yeah.
He's the fucking hit king. He has more hits than anyone. That record probably will never be broken. It's going to be very fucking tough to break if they do.
People don't play that many years anymore.
I think what they have to do to break it is do kind of what they did with the Negro League, where they made them part of the record. Well, now we're including Japanese baseball. That's in the part of the record. Well, now you're second Ichiro.
Well, the reason it'll never be, I mean, right now people don't play as long. And even if they tried to play as long, there's now 10,000 fucking stud athletes out of high school.
They don't keep people that long.
No, they don't keep
Look
people.
at your Joey Vottos of the world. Like, Votto
exactly.
could still hit the ball every so often and would still add to his stats if he was allowed to play.
Right.
Especially if he was the coach that could put himself in whenever he wanted and made the lineups, which Pete Rose was the last couple years of his player-coach career. Which is another thing. No one's done that since. I mean, that's cool in itself. The player-coach thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always admired that part. Like, I thought that was a cool thing of Pete Rose.
That was a thing back then. It happened to a couple people back then.
Yeah, but it hasn't happened in a long time.
No.
I mean, I think he was the last one that I can remember anyway.
I took an Uber ride with a Reds coach the day after the last game. Guy I'd never heard of. He had all his Reds gear and blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, man, you play for the Reds? He was huge. He goes, no, I'm a coach. I was like, oh, really? What do you coach? You know, bench coach, hitting coach? He goes, I just do a bunch of stuff. He said, there's like 10 of us that just do a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, I didn't know there was that many coaches on the team. I thought there was a hitting coach, a bench coach.
Yeah. No, there's a shitload. I mean, look at the Bengals. Like, if you look at the NFL sideline,
I think that's so stupid.
There's 55 people there in hats, and and they're like the assistant.
A cornerback coach.
Well, then they'll have an assistant cornerback coach.
Then they'll have a secondary coach. So you got somebody who coaches safety, somebody who coaches cornerbacks, and then somebody who's over all of it.
Well, because one person's doing strategy and one person's doing technique. So you got one guy that's just working on their techniques and going through the drills and stuff, and the other guy's thinking about how we're going to play this team. Stuff like
See,
that.
I'm thinking defensive coordinator and a couple of assistants.
Dude, it's $1 billion industry. They can throw a couple dollars around.
That's a lot of dollars.
That's what I mean.
There's a lot of fucking coaches.
Well, there's a lot of fucking money in that job. And that
Special
and that
teams
thing.
coach. Then there's a place kicker coach and a punting coach.
Back to Pete Rose. This is another thing that's driving me crazy. I'm looking at you there, fucking high school sports watcher. Is when people say things like you're not like everyone's perfect. You'll point out Pete Rose's flaws, like, oh, I bet everybody you know is perfect. Everybody you like's perfect. And it's
They're not pedophiles.
There's a huge difference between being perfect and being a guy that fucks 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a gigantic difference. I've vandalized some houses in my life. I put a turd on someone's stogie once. I've done some bad shit. I wouldn't put that in the same category as fucking an underage child.
No.
Like, it's a whole different level. And there's certain things that have levels.
Wasn't
Murder.
Wasn't the creepiest part that the parents gave consent for them to see each other? Because that's what I heard.
Oh, I don't know if that's true or not. That's weird, though. If that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that's true, that's super weird, too. But that doesn't excuse it.
No, it does not.
I mean, it just means the parents should go to jail, too.
And I understand 100% what you're saying. It's like, hey, I've done shitty things in my life, and the people I hang out with aren't the fucking, squeakiest of, people. But they've never had sex with a child.
No, even in the hardest core penitentiaries, child molesters are treated like shit. That's a different category. It's a whole different category.
Yeah.
Even in prison, they respect murderers a lot more than fucking child rapists. And I understand it wasn't rape as in that he was holding her down and forcing her, but it's a fucking child, dude. She's 14. That's not even like, if he was I would think he's still a creep of 16, 17. I'm still thinking he's a creep. But
anything under 18.
But I will recognize that 17 and 14 is different. Once you get to 14, and not only that, but there's people that have said, and I don't know if it's true because who fucking knows, but they know Pete fucked girls as young as 12. Like there was this guy that used to work for him that said he used to get the girls for him. And he would get 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. That was a normal thing. That's what Pete Rose was into. That's fucking weird, dude, and that's gross. And I can't idolize someone.
But
that does that.
even if we say, okay, that guy was full of shit and that never happened, he admitted to the 14-year-old.
Yeah, see, he acted like it was not a big deal at all.
Times were different back then, and to me that makes his case worse.
When the girl asked him, he goes, "Come on, babe, times were different back then." It's just
times were different.
That was a long time ago.
A 14-year-old was still in every way considered a child back then.
Yeah, and it's like he's like, well, why do you care what happened 50 years ago? It's like, we're not going to put you in jail, but I'm also just like, ew, I'm just not going to like you. Like that's all. That's the only punishment you're getting is I'm not going to like you, which is like not a punishment at all. So just fucking be happy and move on with your life. But Peter, which I guess he did. So
and Peter, you can. Agree to disagree with sucking my fucking dick. You're a scumbag, and I did put I will never drive you again because you're a pedophile.
Yeah, fuck
you're an asshole.
Peter, the Lyft passenger, and not fuck
like I said. And the only time that I bring up the Pete Rose shit, you talk about Pete Rose right now. I'm going to say hit king, fucking balls to the wall, baseball player, blah blah blah. The only time I'll bring up the pedophile shit is if you try to tell me what a great human being he was.
Yeah, same here.
Then I'm going to say, no, he wasn't.
I mean, same here. I don't say he's a great baseball player, whatever. And another thing, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. There are worse people in the Hall of Fame. There are probably plenty of people that have fucked 12-year-olds in the Hall of Fame. It is what it is, but we're not judging them in their life. We're judging them as a baseball player. Yeah. And Pete Rose, especially now that he's dead, because I've always said this, that I don't want him to get that joy. So I was kind of hoping it would after he's dead. But I've always said that I do believe that he is in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he obviously should be.
I just think since he got away with the fact that he fucked kids, maybe he shouldn't get the joy of wearing that jacket. All right, fuck him. But his name and his face should be in that Hall of Fame because he's one of the greatest ever.
I think in baseball they don't wear a jacket.
They don't get a jacket? Is that a
they
football
get a
thing?
Gold one in football.
Okay, I don't know.
I think in baseball.
I know he's in the Reds Hall of Fame.
They get a bust.
He's in the Reds Hall of Fame. They put you a jacket on for that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
they might do one in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I've never once watched the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony like the football one.
I've never watched any of them.
Because
in
the
the
baseball one, there
clips.
could be 10 fucking guys going in, 12 guys.
Well, and I just don't care. Whatever. I root for people to get in the Hall of Fame if I like
Peter's
them.
an asshole.
Peter's an asshole. I may have been an asshole. Or she's an asshole. I don't know who's the asshole in this situation. I had a lift thing going on too, and it was one of those medical ones. And I'm like 4 hours in, and it's one of those days where during the daytime there's a lot of medical trips where you're picking people up in insurance, and you already know the name's capitalized. That's a medical one.
So you're not going to get a tip.
And you know you're not going to get a tip, and you're like, I don't give a shit. I don't, you know what I mean? And so I pull up, and I don't know who's who when you pull up. So I pull up, and eventually this lady starts walking towards the thing with a walker, and I didn't think anything of it because people walk with walkers, and then they get in the car, and a lot of times when they open the door, I'll go, you need help with the walker? Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, this lady didn't do any of that. She's walking toward the walker, and I guess she's yelling at my car for help. My car windows are rolled up.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I'm not really paying attention. I'm sitting there on my phone waiting for it to go so I can hit arrive and take off and all that other shit. And then I see somebody else come over and grab her walker. So I'm like, okay. And I popped the trunk real quick so they could put it in there. Again, didn't think any of that. This was an employee there helping her out.
Yeah.
So she throws it in there, and the lady opens the door and she slams it. And I'm like, look back. She's like, it's sad that he had to help me. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, it's sad that he has to be the one that helps me, even though you're the one getting paid.
She said that?
Yes. And I
Had to open the trunk, taking the walker out?
Well, no, I said, ma'am, I was like, you can either shut up right now or get the fuck out of the car.
You said that?
Yes. That's exactly how I put it. And she's like, whoa. And I was like, listen, I know already I'm not getting tipped on this ride. It's an insurance ride, and you're in a bad mood. I'm not going to put up with your shit. You want to ride home? Shut up, and we'll go home. You know what I mean? And she's like, just drive. And she shut up. And then like halfway through,
How old was she?
Maybe like late 50s, 60s, like your age, like not that old. I guess she had a bad leg or something. I don't fucking know. And she starts muttering under her breath halfway again. And I told her again, I was like, ma'am, I told you that I'm not going to listen to you complain, and then she's like, I just don't get why she's like all over a tip. And then she grabbed $3 out and threw the $3 up. She's like, here, now you get a tip.
I would have.
Did
she give you a shit rating?
No, not that I know. I don't think they can. I don't think the insurance people can rate you.
Oh.
I'm not positive on that, but I wouldn't have been a dick. I didn't know she needed help. If I would have known she needed help, I would have helped her. It's not a big deal to get on my car and put her walker in my thing. I do it all the time. If someone looks like they need help, I usually do it. She looked like she was rolling just fine to me. You know what I mean? And some of those people don't want help. They want to be independent. Yeah. They want to do this. So I just, you try to play it by ear.
You actually said, shut the fuck up?
Oh, yeah. Dude, come on. It's Lyft. It's me against your word. They're never going to kick you off for just one little thing. And who cares? It's fucking whatever,
I would love to have seen the look on her face when you said you could either shut the fuck up or get the fuck out of the car.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. And she didn't. She took it kind of in stride, really.
Did she?
Yeah, you could tell she's an old bitch. She was probably arguing with everybody. But again, who's the asshole there? Me or her?
Her.
Okay, that's what I thought.
100%.
Yeah, because if you would have just... I don't know.
How about doing this?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have seen it anyways. I wasn't looking, to be honest. But I looked once. As soon as she seemed to be moving pretty good. And I was honestly waiting for her to get to the door, like I said. And when they opened the door, then I usually ask, hey, do you need any kind of help? Yeah. And but it never got to that point. So and as soon as she got in, she had attitude, and I didn't really get it. And then it clicked in my head like, I probably should have helped her. But again, I wasn't fucking paying attention. This is...
Well, yeah, some of them don't want help.
Listen, like I told her, I was like, I'm making $8 to do this. I am not going out of my way for anything for $8, ever. Yeah. And I'm not going to put up with anyone's shit for $8. It's just not going to happen.
I had a funny life story yesterday. I was going to pick my kid up from school. There was a ride right up the street. Extended Stay America. With like drug addicts and stuff.
Yeah, those are always the best people.
Yeah. So as I pull up, there's this fucking fat guy in a wheelchair, in a motorized wheelchair. And he's on the phone, and he's fucking yelling on the phone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fuck, I hope this ain't him, because he's out front. I'm like, I can't fit that fucking wheelchair in the car.
Don't you hate that when you're sitting there just going, God, I hope this isn't the customer?
Yeah, I hope this ain't it. And all of a sudden, a young kid comes out.
Yeah.
And he gets in. And he's going to the gas station to get cigarettes and come right back. The gas station was less than 1,000 feet away. And he called a Lyft for it. And he was a young kid. Lazy motherfucker. The ride was $7, but the total trip was 0.6 of a mile.
Wow.
Pick him up, drive him back.
Well,
0.6.
$4 surge.
$3 surge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, usually the $3.50 is like their lowest price. So.
But no, Lyft has $3 surge.
Huh?
Oh yeah, $3 is. I've done a $3 ride.
I would never.
But I mean, it's from here to the park.
I don't care.
But anyway,
there's the slight chance. There's the reason why I wouldn't personally do those. Is because there's a slight chance that they make me wait a long time before they come out and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, a 3-minute thing is now a 10-minute thing.
Well,
and I made $3.
A Monster.
Well, sometimes it works out. I'm not saying it doesn't.
You want anything? Yeah,
I'm just saying in general.
So as I'm driving him back, he's a young kid. He's cool. And I said, hey, that fat guy in the wheelchair right there is pretty pissed off at the world. Mm-hmm. He goes, you would be too. And I said, what do you mean? He said, that's a woman. Fucking crew cut haircut. Mm-hmm. Man. You look at it, you see fucking man. And I was like, trans person? He said, no. Just a fat, ugly woman. But all she does is sits down here in the lobby and yells at people on her cell phone all fucking day.
Hey, do you know what they call people that date theys?
No.
Me either. It's a weird thing. I mean, you're
Why
not.
Why would you have to have a name?
Or are you gay? You're not dating girls. You know what I mean? Like if a guy's
asexual?
If a guy's dating a they, does that make him gay?
Asexual?
Asexual means you're just into yourself, or you're not into sex.
Or pansexual. It means you'll date anyone.
Well, pansexual definitely falls into that, but I think there isn't. I actually looked it up. I did know the name for a little bit, but I've already forgot it. But it just crossed my mind the other day. Like if you're dating a non-gender person, well, you're not gay. But that's not straight, I guess, either, even though technically, guy, girl, whatever, it's straight. But, they're claiming they're not a girl. They're claiming they're a they. So
I would just think pansexual is what, unless you don't date men.
I could date a they, though, couldn't you?
Well, I could, yeah.
I mean, the they was a hot chick. I mean, a hot they.
I'm done with the labels.
Well, I'm still not.
I'm totally done with the labels.
I still would never date anything with a dong. But it's just...
Well, no. What if it was a smoking hot
dong?
No, because if you look at look in the Philippines at these lady boys and stuff, they're hot.
Some of them are, yeah.
Yeah, they're hot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, hey, let's play. Ding, and the fucking horse cock falls out. Well, Asian horse cock, which is like 4 inches.
Yeah.
But you're like, wow. I mean, that's impressive.
I seen some video the other day with some guy who had his arm around this what looked like an attractive girl, and then all of a sudden the ball popped out, and she reached down there and put it back in, and it was fucking hilarious and gross at the same time.
It's so funny because I just this whole political thing, the presidency. We're going to get into the debate in a minute, but it's all a big thing of it in Ohio is the Sherrod Brown voting for the trans men being able to play women's sports, and you can think whatever you want about that. Your opinion and mine don't have to be the same. But it's such, we've got so many fucking problems in this country, and the number one thing they're arguing about is this.
Really? I haven't heard anything about it.
This. But the Sherrod Brown thing.
You got to remember, dude, you listen to WLW a lot, so you're going to get...
But it's on TV, the TV ads. And they show
the ads.
They show a girls' basketball team with a trans woman standing, like this. And I get it.
Is he the one going against Moreno?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. It's just Moreno ads. He's
but the whole point is that, think what you want. But don't we have anything else to?
Well, they can't really get Brown on much because he's been good at his fucking job. He's one of the rare politicians that I actually like. Ohio's not in a bad spot per se compared to anything else. He's a Senate. They don't really have anything to get him on. So what they're getting him on is bullshit. They know it's election year with Trump. They know the Trumpers are going to be out, and that plays to the Trumpers. So that's all it is. Is Moreno's trying to get that Trump crowd?
I understand. And God, isn't there anything else you can get him on besides letting voting to let trans men?
No, well, you can show that he's liberal. He's a pretty fucking liberal senator. There's no denying that.
But then on the other side, you got Bernie Moreno, who would rather let your wife die than get an abortion. You know what I'm saying?
Bernie Moreno's a psychopath.
I know.
So,
all I'm saying is that, right now, as we speak, fucking Iran is launching more fucking missiles. Now, granted, they're firing them at Israel, blah, 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 but that's an ally of ours, and before you know it, we're going to have boots on the ground.
No,
Do we have anything else to talk about except the fact that this trans person is in the next stall showering?
No, if Iran really... those missiles were sent like warning missiles and shit. They do this shit every once in a while. Well, they're just
They shot most of them down.
Well, they know they're going to shoot them down. They're just saying, hey, man.
And Iran said, you better not retaliate. And crazy man Netanyahu's fucking warming up the nukes.
Well, they shouldn't retaliate because this is a retaliation to begin with for those fucking
killing
the walkie-talkie blow-ups and the pagers.
Well, they killed the Hezbollah leader.
Well, they killed him too. But I mean, like that's what all of those pagers were supposed to be people in Hezbollah and all that shit. So like Hezbollah. Yeah. I say all these fucking wrong. I'm the worst person to talk about this shit. I mean, I follow it all, but I don't know how to say
half
anything.
the time we're being taught to say it wrong.
Yeah, well, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just retarded when it comes to speaking. But what I'm trying to say is that if Iran actually goes after Israel, America is now involved.
Oh, yeah.
And, like it or hate it, it's the truth. And
but
that's what's going to happen. And that's
trans person
scary.
Is showering next to your niece.
Because Iran's not a little shit country. That is over there in the Middle East. Iran is the big dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the one you don't fuck with. We might have fucked up Iraq in a day. That's whatever. Who cares? Afghanistan, we never even won that war. We just ran around the mountains blowing shit up for a while, killed some people. They killed some people. And now we control the poppy fields. So it worked out for us.
Yeah.
That's about it that went on there. But Iran's a whole different thing. That's an actual war. We're going to have our kids die in that war.
Yeah.
That's not, not my kid. My kid will never join the fucking military if I can help it. But, there will be children that die in that war for Iran, over some shit that does not involve us.
Right.
Does not involve us.
And we're talking about nothing but the trans issues and abortions.
And none of our politicians have the balls to put the fucking Israel's, Netanyahu in his place. Trump might have the balls. I'm not sure, but
I think he does.
Yeah, he might. I hate to say it, but he might be the best option for that one.
But the thing about it is, even more importantly, Netanyahu is actually a little bit afraid of Trump. He would do stuff without having to be asked because he knows that's what Trump wants.
That was
Trump can be your best friend and he'll cut you off tomorrow.
Well, Trump's best defense was the fact that he's nuts. That was the thing that really helped America as far as not being in wars during his reign and stuff, because people didn't want to fuck with us because the leader was insane and you didn't know what the fuck he was going to do.
Right.
It's kind of the same way that, the guy up in North Korea, no one ever fucks with North Korea there. He's just there. But
there's no reason to fuck with North Korea.
There's
They're not fucking with you.
But I'm just saying, in general, people don't fuck with the crazy people. They're just all right, we'll wait it out till we have a not crazy there.
But in North Korea, all he's ever done is fired some test missiles that have went a mile.
Yeah. He don't have anything.
He doesn't have anything. And the whole point is he's crazy and his fucking people are slaves and basically, being held there against their will. Well, most of them are against their will.
Well, the thing with
he doesn't fuck with anybody else.
No, but North Korea, your real fear is them being funded by either Russia or China.
Yeah.
And letting crazy man use their money to make wars. You know what I mean?
But they've been funded by China for years and years, and they've never done anything.
Funded enough to actually make an impact. China just keeps them floating so they can control them, but they don't give them. You know what I mean?
They're never going to give them anything that could really do any serious damage. China might. But
let's say they do what we are doing with the Ukraine. Ukraine don't have that kind of money. This is our war.
Yeah.
We've put all this money in over there. So, if China was to do that with North Korea, then you have problems. But I don't know who gives a shit.
Hey, let's get off politics.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, talk about the debates.
I don't really have much to say about the debates. I did watch
them.
One's such a hard thing to say. And I'll tell you one thing.
It wasn't in the Kamala Trump thing. It was a real easy thing to say. Kamala kicked his ass.
No. Well, I think Vance won. Now, if you're going at it not looking at facts, and in either way, they're both full of shit. Neither of them it's kind of the same thing with the Kamala and Trump thing, as far as that neither of them really answered questions. They'd ask them something and then they go into some talking point or whatever, that's every debate anymore.
Yeah.
I will say this one was mostly policy based. They were really friendly to each other multiple times, saying, "Oh,
they didn't rip each other apart."
Not at all. They're very, very, very civil debate. This was kind of an old schoolish debate. You know what I mean? And the fact that there was no real joking around. They talked pretty much policy the whole time.
Yeah.
It was more of a real debate. With that being said, fucking boring as shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not like you don't know their sides. They both say their thing. They both can make it sound good. I will say Vance was meant for this. For one thing, beautiful eyes on that guy. The whole time I'm just staring into those baby blues going, God damn, when did Vance get so handsome?
Color contacts.
What happened? No, seriously though, is he on Ozempic too? And he has that beard that's perfect? This is a handsome man now. If you looked at him 6 years ago, he was a chubby little cunt, look at my hillbilly Ephesus. Yeah. He wanted to sell his book and shit. Now he's always been a very intelligent guy. The guy went to, wherever. He went to some Ivy League school. Vance is super intelligent. I always tell my wife this because, her first thing when people disagree with someone, their first thing is, you're dumb. They're dumb. They're not dumb. They might have a different outlook at things, but they're not dumb. And J.D. Vance...
Most of them are Ivy League educated.
Yes. I mean, Trump, there's certain things where you can go, he's kind of dumb. George Bush was like that a little bit, kind of dumb. Joe Biden, obviously, nowadays, that he's crazy, dumb. Joe Biden younger was not dumb. And J.D. Vance is not dumb. That guy's super intelligent. You can tell he did great jobs at pivoting. He was meant for this. Like I said, I think if Trump didn't exist, J.D. Vance would be your president. I think J.D. Vance, if it was just J.D. Vance running against Kamala Harris right now, he'd win in the fucking landslide.
Do you?
Well, because he takes all the same policies, but he makes them sound more intelligent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he doesn't come off like a crazy person when he's
That's
doing
what we
it.
need.
And he can go back and forth. Well, the problem is
J.D. Vance
the problem is I don't agree with any of the not any of the policies, but I don't agree with a giant portion of the policies.
What I'm saying is we need somebody who can actually come across as presidential and actually tell you they're going to address these problems instead of saying, yeah, well, show me your tax return. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you could tell that, honestly, I would be happier with either of these two ended up being president over the two that are actually running. I would prefer either vice president. You know what I mean? I don't care for Vance, but I would take him over Trump. I don't care for Kamala, and I don't know what to think of fucking dude. I don't know what to think of him, honestly. He comes off kind of as goofy. He knows what he's talking about. His state does have really good shit going on. Like, Minneapolis is killing it. So you got to give him a little credit there.
Except for all the riots and cop killings.
That was like once. But as far as knowing...
It was like twice.
If you look at their economy and stuff and what they've done with housing and everything else, they've done some really good shit up there.
Have they?
Yeah. I mean, really, they have. Minnesota's done better. But Minnesota's also... I don't know. It's a weird state. It's not New York. It's not California.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more easy to govern, I would imagine. Either way, you can tell that Waltz is not as intelligent as Vance, but he knew his shit. He's passionate about it, and he never came off bad to me. There was a couple little flubs that he had, but it wasn't Biden flubs. It wasn't Trump flubs. It was just like your typical, like, maybe I forgot what I was saying for a second, or the point, stumble a little bit. But you're talking for an hour and a half. How could you not do that? But Vance didn't, to be fair. Vance was fucking smooth. So I would say Vance won that if we're just talking about performance. If you're talking about policies, then it just depends on what you're into.
Were the moderators actually
They
down
were
the
a
middle?
little, never.
They leaned towards Walz?
They leaned towards Walz a little bit. They were giving Vance a little bit more shit. But then with that being said, they were fact-checking some shit. Then Vance says some crazy shit every once in a while. He says it in an intelligent way, but still, if you were to look at it, when you're out there, and Walz did a good job of doing this, they try to blame all the housing problems right now on immigrants. Like, immigrants aren't the reason why houses cost that much, guys. I mean, they might be a small percentage of reason why, in certain areas more so, like Springfield, as we talked about.
That's a real problem.
There's certain areas, yes, for sure. But overall, the housing market is not fucked up because we got some immigrants coming over. It's fucked up because lots of different reasons. A lot of it's greed, and then a lot of it's the fact we don't have enough housing. All we ever do is build condos and shit nowadays. And also, when we do buy or build stuff, there is a lot of foreign investors that come over here and buy shit right away and then turn it into rental properties, turn it into whatever, or just leave it empty for investments.
And the people
that
selling
is a
it don't
very
give a
real
fuck
profit.
who you are.
Back in the day, housing was not something that Wall Street got into, and now it is. Now you got these big fucking funds.
There's money to be made.
Yeah, now you got these big hedge funds that are putting money into the housing market and buying shit like that.
I get 5 calls a week.
Yes, people wanting to buy your house for cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I get it all the fucking time. And that's what those are, is these big companies trying to buy all this shit up and then rent it out or whatever and charge
exorbitant
exorbitant
prices. And that one
prices.
person that calls me, I don't think is American because they all have hard accents.
I've never answered them. You answer phone calls. I get them through the text. So I don't know what they
you
sound
get them
like.
through the text.
I get them constantly through text. But yeah, so that's more the problem with housing, and no one's addressing that. Even though whilst they're bringing it up, like there's no actual real.
You know what really cracks me up when they say, "Are you interested in selling your house at this address?" I'm like, "No, I'm not interested." Do you know anyone who is?
You want to go knock on your neighbor's house, see if they want to sell your house.
I think a guy I know at work, Phil, is trying to sell his house. Let me give you his number.
Talk to you.
All right, so let's get on to something more serious.
Yeah, I don't know why P. Diddy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and I want to talk about
For
that
the freak
real
out.
quick.
Freakouts.
What do you do with baby oil?
Oh, dude, naked twister, butt fucking, whatever.
But you're not supposed to use baby oil for lube. Baby oil is not lube. You would get lube for that. Some Astroglide, some,
Yeah,
whatever.
but that's a lot more expensive.
He's P. Diddy.
Well, yeah, but naked. Maybe they did like naked oil wrestling, like mud wrestling.
Now I
except with
say
oil.
this. Now let me bring it back. I kind of do know what it is. And I don't know if it's a black thing or if it's black women. I enjoy a porn site called Exploited Black Teens. Hey, it sounds bad, but I'm not Pete Rose. I'm sure these girls are like 25.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Exploited Black Teens. It's it's been around for a long time.
Didn't you go to exploited college girls and turns out those guys were like actually really truly exploiting these girls?
No,
and they got arrested?
it wasn't exploited college girls. Even though that
duped.
It
was duped.
No, it wasn't called duped. It's what the fuck is it? Girls.
Girls do porn.
Girls do porn. Yeah, that doesn't have a nasty title, but yeah, still my faves. I wish they put a little marking in the corner of the girls that were kind of forced, so I knew I don't want to jerk off to rape, but but they're always the hottest. I kind of just figured out in my head if they seem to not be liking it, I turn it off. Because sometimes they just look like they're really in pain. You're just like, oof. Right.
Delete history.
Next.
Delete history just in case.
No, but Exploited Black Teens. This guy every single time. Exploited Black Teens. EBT for short. Because if that's the thing, all these if you actually know the sites, you have to usually do initials and stuff because Pornhub and stuff ain't going to let you put up full videos from the sites because those are paid sites. So, you got to put EBT and then shit will pop up and you're like, full video, not just that little preview. Anyway, Exploited Black Teens. Very popular site. Every time he fucks the girls, and it's a white guy in this, and that's the reason I watch it.
They blur his face out?
Because you know me, I don't think they show his face. Yeah, I think
those are all pretty shady.
He's always holding the camera. He's always holding the camera.
I just find it real shady when they blur the guy's face out.
That's backroom casting couch. That guy's always blurred out.
Fake taxi.
Yeah, okay, that one too. Then this one, he's always holding the camera, so you don't, that's the only kind of shot you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get that side shot to see his face and stuff. So I've never seen the dude's face. It's a
all you
white
see
guy.
is his dick.
And it's not an impressive dick.
See, most of the time they are. The fake taxi guy's got a horse cock.
No, this one's not. And it was part of the reason why I don't really watch them that often. It's more the girl there. It's not the dick. That sounds so weird. But it's the truth for all guys. No one wants to watch small dick porn. No. It's just not a thing. And this guy don't have a small dick.
You know
just
why?
has an average.
Because they want to see the nasty whore taking the big cock.
Yeah, either way. Everyone wants small dick porn. This is like average dick porn, but you're doing it more for the girls, mostly because this was one of the first ones that I found that had consistently decent looking black chicks that I liked. And a lot of those and without a black dick in it, because you can't be doing that. Anyhow, back to this, why I'm kind of understanding the baby oil. This guy, every single time in the middle of fucking, would take baby oil and put it on their ass and rub it in, and they they glistened.
Yeah.
Black girls all of a sudden glisten under that baby oil. And honestly, I did not like it. That was part of the reason I wasn't really big into that porn site. There was a couple girls I liked, but overall, it's just like, what's this guy with all this baby oil and shit?
So
but apparently, I think that's a thing, and P. Diddy must be into that too. I think he's like this guy. I think when he fucks girls, he likes putting a little baby oil on their ass and stuff while he's doing it. I don't think he's using it for lube. I just don't think baby oil is a lube. I'm sure you could use it. But
I've had friends that have used weirder stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a safe. I don't think P. Diddy
reaching into a jar of Crisco and grabbing a handful.
Yeah, but I think when you're P. Diddy and you're having freak parties with maybe some big time celebrities and shit, you're gonna skimp on the fucking lube.
Is it really true? Now everybody's telling me this. Brandon told me this, and other people have said it. Did he really fuck the dad from Family Matters?
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard they walked in the room and he was ball deep in this guy's ass.
I've heard that too. I've heard that same thing. I don't know if it's true. I've also heard the same thing about Dwight Howard.
Really?
Yeah, Dwight Howard's been known to be, or not known, but everybody's been thinking he's gay for a long time.
He's a big dude.
He's a giant dude. And I've also heard, that was the same thing as that P. Diddy was fucking him and stuff. I don't know, man.
I heard that one of the guys from P. Diddy's crew said, look, man, I'm going to be honest. He got off on trying to make straight men suck his dick and take it in the ass.
Yeah.
And he would give them lots of money to do it. But he would hide cameras and he would film it.
Yeah, well, that's the
big
thing.
And then if you decide to ever go public with it, hey, this video's coming out.
Yeah, no, and that's the big thing is all these fucking videos, I think, got taken by the law, when they raided this place. And now you're going to have all these videos, and who knows? There might be a video of P. Diddy fucking Justin Bieber. There might be a video
I want to see the video where Oprah's in the background going, fuck that ass.
Yeah, I don't think Oprah was there. See, that's another thing is now,
fuck that ass.
Like the Epstein thing, you all of a sudden get
Stedman going.
You all of a sudden get all these people that aren't involved at all, that all of a sudden political parties and people just want it to be them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even my wife keeps on going about Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I was like, I just can't see Beyonce being at the fuck party. Like, I just can't see it. Maybe, but I get, that Jennifer Lopez was married to that dude for a little while.
Yeah.
Do you think Jennifer Lopez is going to fuck parties? I don't see it. But maybe
a lot of those I don't see.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously going to pull out the best names to sell or
But he was married to Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
This isn't just some, girl that he hung out with. I mean, like the Jay-Z Beyonce connection is like, all right, because Jay-Z and P. Diddy knew each other or like were even friends maybe, they automatically are at the fuck parties. Because I don't know about you. If I'm having a fuck party, I'm not inviting all my friends. It's going to be certain friends.
Yeah.
You don't invite every friend.
Well, they didn't name everybody, but I mean, like, honestly, I can't see Dwayne Wade and his wife being there. I can't see that.
I don't either. Is that one of the names that's being thrown out?
D-Wade and his
You know
wife.
why? Because he has a transgender kid and people don't
Yeah.
like him. That's
Yeah.
that's why people get thrown into these things.
But everybody likes Oprah and everybody likes Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Everybody likes Oprah. Ask anyone on the right what they feel about Oprah.
Well, they're right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, that's 50% of the population. There's lots of people that don't like Oprah. I just can't see Oprah.
I got to admit, I would love it if one of these videos came out and she was in the back
It'd be hilarious.
drinking a fucking beer saying, fuck his ass. You know what I
For
mean?
one thing, well, okay, never mind. I was
Fuck
going to
that
say,
dog.
if these were just straight orgies, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the problem is, it sounds like that a lot of these girls were forced and drugged and everything else. And, there's people saying that they would walk through and there'd be girls passed out everywhere with guys fucking them in the ass and stuff while they're passed out. Like, yeah, I can't
that
get
one
behind
guy,
that.
the one guy said he would give these straight men 50 grand. Suck my dick. Here's 50 grand.
Yeah.
And these men were like, 50 grand? To suck his dick.
That's actually my price.
Because apparently what he really got off on is being able to convince straight men to suck a dick.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. They're saying that, I've watched videos where they blame his mentor did that to him, and then he did that to other
Well,
girls.
I
and then
mean,
who
on
knows?
the record, the one thing I will say on the record is, P. Diddy, how about that 50K, man? That's my price. It's like you're reading my mind.
Yeah, dude.
You knew 50,000
your
was my
price.
price. Totally my price.
Dude, he checked
this
your
is
tags.
Kismet. Hey, free P. Diddy on parole for 1 week.
Free P. Diddy.
Give me that 50K, and I'm taking on that horse cock. Does he supposedly have a horse cock?
I haven't heard anything about his dick.
All I know is that the list of famous people that have come out.
I'm going to guess he doesn't have a giant dick, because I feel like that would be part of the story at some point. If it
Bottom
was.
line is, from what I read about the indictment, he's not getting out of jail.
Nah, he's fucked, dude.
Ever.
He got rape parties.
Oh, yeah.
He filmed rape parties. That never works out in your favor.
And he fucking basically did like Epstein did, and he flew these whores around to fuck all his buddies. And
Dude,
he's not getting out of
He's
jail.
up to some shit. P. Diddy was gangster. Like, he also had people killed. I mean, it's pretty much proven at this point he had Tupac killed.
Yeah.
There's a good chance he had Biggie killed. There's a good chance
Why would he kill them both?
Well, Tupac he killed because of the rival thing. Biggie
Yeah.
he killed because apparently Biggie was about to leave him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently they weren't, they were on the outs. Biggie was going to go on his own. P. Diddy was probably keeping a shit ton of that money. You know what I mean? There's all that involved. Who knows if P. Diddy... There's weird videos now of Biggie and Diddy, where there's one where Diddy has his arm and Biggie keeps on like nuzzling his arm. And
Really?
they're saying like, I love you to each other and stuff. And then you listen to these old Biggie songs now, and they come off completely different now. The shit about Diddy. There's that one song where he's like, I tell my people to get a hold of your people, and we be the people. And you're just like, ew. He's talking about his freak parties.
You know what, though? Let's say hypothetically this podcast blew up and we were making millions.
Yeah.
I'd go, I love you, man. I'd be doing that.
Nuzzling?
I don't know about the nuzzling, but
nuzzling?
I'd throw out a couple of I
The
love you,
nuzzling threw
man,
me
for
off.
sure.
But think about it. Do you think that Diddy used to baby oil up Biggie's ass and fuck him?
I would say Biggie would be the top there.
No, that's not Diddy's thing, man. Diddy's a master. He's not the bottom. I don't think Diddy's getting fucked in the ass ever.
Wow, that would be the ultimate controversy. Biggie takes it in the ass. You know
If
what
they
I mean?
found like a 1980s, or no, it was like early 90s video, all grainy as shit of P. Diddy fucking Biggie, but just fucking pouring baby oil on him.
He wants to see his ass glisten.
And every time he stuck his dick in, Biggie's eye went straight.
I would have an easier time watching that video than I would watching fucking Winslow's dad from Family Matters taking it in the
You
ass.
can't see the dude.
I mean, that was the cop from Die Hard.
Yeah, well, he was gay though, wasn't he? Or
They say he was gay.
was he the gay one? I know Uncle Phil was gay.
Uncle Phil was gay?
Uncle Phil was definitely gay. I didn't know Winslow was gay.
Maybe he's not. Then maybe it was Uncle Phil they were thinking about.
I don't know. Nah, he ain't fucking Uncle Phil, dude. I mean, though, if I was in the fucking dudes, that would be a nice little thing on your wall. Like, I fucked Uncle Phil.
No, I'd go after Carlton.
Carlton.
Yeah, because I think when you stuck your dick in, he'd go,
He did a little dance. It's not
Take it out.
unusual
Take it
to
out.
be loved by anyone.
take it out. It hurts. Take it out.
He'd be wearing a sweater.
His
Just grab
vest.
a hold of that sweater.
Yeah, I think P. Diddy is never, ever getting out of jail.
All right. Well, let's
You
move
talk
on.
about the ultimate flight risk. The guy's got $1 billion. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he's-
He'd be gone,
Just
man.
let him out. Like,
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna let you out, but we're gonna put an ankle monitor. on you.
his lawyer cracks me up too, dude. They're like, what about the 1,000 cases of baby oil? He's like, have you ever been to Costco? Have you ever been?
He didn't
You
say
buy a
that.
thing in bulk. Yeah. He's like, oh, you ever seen? He's,
Nothing is sold in 1,000 bottles.
Costco came out and they're like, we don't sell baby oil. They actually put a statement out.
Even if they did, it would be a big 2-pack. You know what I mean? It
He's
wouldn't
like-
be a 1,000-pack.
He's like, he has a big house. He has a lot of money. He buys things in bulk.
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
That's not illegal. I mean, I don't even know why we're talking about the baby oil. We got the videos. Like, there's a video of him fucking Bieber. Who cares about the
one
baby
thing
oil?
is
But
that this is going to be really fun to watch when it all starts to come out.
yeah, no, it's fun.
I mean, yeah,
well,
it's entertainment.
I got a bad feeling that P. Diddy's about to get really sad. If you know what
You
I
think
mean.
he's going to whack himself?
No, I think he's going to be sad and going to kill himself. You know.
Yeah.
I think he's
And
going to
end
get
up
the
in a funny
I think he's
farm?
going to get the Epstein treatment. Is
Do
what
you?
I'm saying. Yeah. No, I think someone's going to murder him because I think a lot of the people that are involved have people on the inside. Well, I mean, because he doesn't fuck. That's the difference. Is
Like the D.C. madam, how she ended up dead?
well, yeah, like P. Diddy's people more have people on the streets inside, where Epstein had the higher ups, maybe the Clintons or who, the monarchy over in England got someone over. There was Epstein had some big time power people in there, so obviously they got in there and killed him. P. Diddy has a different level of power, though, I think. And, I think he has some videos probably of some street people or some people, at least no street people that can get in there, already have people in prison.
Oh, yeah.
And can get to him.
They're
Now,
already in there.
Yeah, no, and I know P. Diddy's getting kept solitary 23 hours a day, getting an hour of whatever.
Oh, he's got a cellmate.
Oh, does he have a cellmate now? Okay, they did move it.
They said who he was. He has a cellmate.
Okay. Well, either way, I'm just saying, like, I would not be surprised if P. Diddy dies before it goes to trial. It just, that kind of shit happens when you
Well,
when
it
you have
does.
videos of some famous, powerful. Let's say it is Jay-Z. Jay-Z's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
You don't think he could have someone on the inside kill him? You know what I mean?
Oh, easy.
Yeah. So I don't
mean,
see P. Diddy making it.
I mean, what if it was someone, honestly, like hypothetically, Oprah?
Yeah. Oh, Oprah could get someone killed.
Oprah make a phone call.
Yeah, I mean,
and
you're,
you'd be dead.
you're not thinking about that.
But I mean, if it's powerful, like politician people, man, they have a right to say, "Hey, dude, how'd you like 20 years off your sentence? Wax this fucker." They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And you can get got to. They could buy the guards. They could buy the wardens. Hey, you're in the bathroom cleaning.
Well, no,
a fucking
Epstein
toilet.
proved that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The fucking guy was sleeping, not watching the video. You
Yeah.
know, like shit like that. It's like, all
Yeah,
right.
the guard was sleeping.
Yeah, the guard. Yeah, of course he was. He also enjoyed that fucking $6 million he got wired to him, and he's probably in Mexico now, living a great life.
And I guarantee,
Because the worst punishment you're going to get is what?
well, it's probably a lifer that's going to take him
Yeah,
out.
you get fired. That's
Yeah.
about it. That's about it. So, no, I'm not talking about killing him. I'm talking about the
Oh,
guard
yeah.
letting it loose.
Oh yeah, you get fired.
You get
Well,
fired.
it's all
Big
right, I'm
deal. If
good.
you got all this money, who gives a shit? So,
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got going on?
Well, I'll tell you what I got going on. I got a new Brazilian person.
Oh, new butt cutter.
I got a Brazilian 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I got my last one. This person, her name was Robin. Very nice girl, but not very good at Brazilians. I got her off.
You got a
I
you had
got
a
her-
Groupon?
No, I Googled her, and because the other girl that was doing it has moved away or is gone. She just doesn't do it anymore. This girl does it on the side. She works for another company, but she does it on the side. Bottom line is, there is a small, little, tiny section of my asshole that still hurts.
Hurts?
It bled like a fucking stuck pig, and it had a scab on it, and it's still healing, but it still hurts because it's on my fucking cornhole. It's in the perimeter of my cornhole, probably a half-inch away. Bottom line is when she pulled it off, it really hurt. She took a whole bunch of fucking skin with her, and she doesn't know what she's doing, I found out. My asshole still hurts a little.
Yeah, that's
it'll-
not good, dude.
It'll be ready to get munched again within a week, but the whole point is it still hurts. So I found a new lady.
Yeah, dude. If she ate your asshole right now, you could give her AIDS.
I don't have AIDS.
Well, if you did,
If I did have AIDS, yes, she
it
could.
could lay dormant for a while.
No, it's the scab is gone. It's pretty much the wound is history, But the whole point is, I've never enjoyed the Brazilians. They hurt. But this one really hurt. My ass bled for like 4 hours. My underwear still had blood in them.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And so I got this new lady, and I'm going to try her out in about 2 months. Say she uses a special kind of wax. But let me tell you something. If you pay less than $70 for a Brazilian, you're going to have a sore asshole
You're
for a
risking
little
it.
while.
Yeah. You're risking it. It's like they're like tattoos, man. You can get them cheap, but you don't want them.
No.
You pay the money, get the good ass wax. Pay the money, get the good tattoo. Don't.
I didn't know it was the good ass wax or the bad ass wax. I thought, hey,
Well, there's
girls
good
doing
and bad everything, right?
Yeah, it's weird. They're little beads.
I mean, even the greatest things in the world, pizza and blowjobs, there's still good and bad. You'll just take it no matter what.
Yeah, you always take no matter what.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? I'll be the first to say that if a girl's sucking my dick and I feel teeth, I'm pretty much done.
You gotta flick her nose.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, it's an international sign, dude.
Well, no, but the whole point is if you feel teeth, she's not very good at it.
No.
And you're going to suffer in the
And
long
I think
run.
some of them do it on purpose.
Because they don't want to be there?
Yeah, they're just like, all right, well, okay, I'll just give him a bad
Like
blowjob.
my friend
and I'll
Bud
never
Eater
ask for it
Jen?
again.
Butt Eater Jen?
Not a good blowjob person?
The best.
Oh, the best. Okay.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say I couldn't see you being with her all the time.
Oh, no. The fuck. Oh, my God, the best. I mean, you don't. All you feel is mouth, tongue, and throat.
Class A whore.
It's not a whore. Don't talk about my friend like that.
Okay, she don't charge money. What's the word?
Open-minded.
It's not fucking
That's
fun.
the way I look at it.
Fun.
I'm telling you, the girl when she comes over,
Skank?
not only does
Slut, skank. I
these
can't do it with
words are
those.
very offensive. This person means a lot to me.
I know.
This girl comes over twice a month and eats my ass. I'm not going to let anybody talk bad about her.
This girl.
Jen, honey, I love you.
I know. I think you're the one for him. I think you're number 3 or 4? 3
3 what?
wives.
I've had 2.
Yeah, so this will be 3. Yeah, I think you're number 3, Jen. I think you're number 3. You got to wait till he's 65 and he gives up.
There will never be a 3.
Yeah, I think you're getting number 3.
No fucking way.
Dude, don't give up on love.
It's not that I've given up on it. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I do not want it.
You don't want love?
No.
Why? It's glorious.
I don't ever in my life ever again want to in any way have to answer for what I'm doing that day, that night,
That's
in general.
Yeah. That part sucks.
I was married a long time, and I enjoyed being married. But let me tell you something. Now that I'm single, and it's been 8 years now, man, I do whatever I want, whenever I want. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, at my age, it's pretty nice, especially because I'm getting regular sex.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that makes up for it. That's going to end eventually.
that totally, it'll end eventually.
Well, but I mean,
It might just get to the point where I'll have to start fucking women almost my age.
dude, that'd be weird.
For me, it would.
Dude, those grays. those fucking grays.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I can get turned on from a 45, 50-year-old woman. As a general rule, I stay around 43, 44. I fuck people your age.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting the sex on a regular basis, now it's weird, and some people say demented sex, but not to me. Why would I want the rest? To where, I mean, it's nice having somebody. It is nice. But fucking dude, I'm 59. I don't need anybody.
You're so old, dude.
Well, I just don't need anybody.
Yeah.
And, I'm having a good time. If I, like we were talking, we want to go on these on a trip once a year to a different stadium to watch the Bengals.
Mhm.
If you're married, there's things that
it's
have to be done.
Pain in the ass, yeah.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
All I got to say is, hey, ex-wife, you're going to keep the boy this weekend.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's difficult. We don't got it as easy as Nate and Matt, but
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about it is,
But they're gonna die alone and unloved. So I mean, that's
right.
different. Yeah. Like, we got
and
kids.
you know
at
what?
least.
We have kids that love us.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, my ex-wife and I, we get along so well that we'll always try to help each other. You want to go out of town? I'll take him this day. I'll call in, or I'll get a day off, whatever. We try to help each other. So if I want to go to Tennessee for the game or Vegas for the game, yeah, no problem. Go have a good time.
Hey, don't go to Tennessee right now. It's rainy. It's wet.
And the stadium sucks.
They got a couple floods going on.
The stadium's gross.
That stadium's all right. It's boring.
Yeah,
whatever.
But my whole point is that I had a lot of years of being married, and it was great, and having somebody there is fun. But the bottom line is, when you're younger, you kind of need it. It fills a hole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that hole anymore. Mine's filled. So
Your hole's filled.
all I'm saying is, I don't ever want to be obligated. If you date somebody, you owe them some time. You owe them your time. Well, my kids get my time.
Well, you lost me at talking about your hole being filled. But
Wasn't my hole. I'm talking about a hole.
no, well, you said my hole's filled. You said my hole's filled.
I did say
Yeah,
my
I
hole,
did.
but I didn't mean actual hole.
Well, as soon as you said that, I was out.
Jen fills my hole with tongue.
Ooh, gross. Didn't you have some new cuck news?
I do have new cuck news.
Yeah, cuck
There's
news.
a new one on the horizon.
Oh, a new cuck.
Yeah, and this one
nice.
came from a very weird source.
New hot wife.
The original cucks, the ones that turned on the Filipino to me, they turned on someone else to me because they're moving to Florida. They have a local couple that's looking for exactly what I give them.
A Filipino couple?
No, the original cuck couple
Yeah.
is the one who introduced me to the Filipino.
No, I knew that. Yeah.
Well, they have another friend from their swinging days
okay. I
that's
gotcha.
looking for a bull.
An aging bull.
Here's the beauty of this one.
Yeah.
She asked, "Can I give him your number?" And I said, "Yeah, give him my number." They haven't called me yet. This was just a few days ago. But she said, not only does he's not like, because I asked him, is he the kind of guy that's going to wear a fucking nightgown? No, he just likes to watch. That's all. Because
You told the one cucks about the other cucks?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't use names. So I basically said, look, if I'm going to do this with anybody else, I want it to be exactly like yours. I want him to sneak in at some point, walk out when I'm done. I don't want to have any type of relationship with him.
You want a generic cuck.
Yeah, watch all you want. And so she said, yeah, I told them that. And I told them we've been doing it for years and they're going to be calling you. She sent me a picture of the girl. Oh, my fucking God.
For you, that just means skinny.
No, this girl's hot. I think she's 42. Husband's 46 or something like that. Normal looking people. She's very attractive. Apparently they just get off on the swinger kind of stuff. And
It's not Matt and Sarah, is it?
Matt and Sarah.
The professor? I mean, the ages were matching.
No. It's not Professor.
Actually, I think she's younger. So.
No, because I'd be worried that I was going to feel a trombone on my ass.
The rusty. You're going to give you a rusty trombone.
But
You think Matt gets really good rusty trombones?
he plays
Anybody
it.
that plays the trombone? Phil Steinmans. Phil Steinmans.
Steinmetz plays the fucking trombone.
He got a fucking master's degree in trombone. Yes, it's retarded, but that's what he's good at. So imagine how good his rusty trombone
I
is.
wonder when the last time he picked up a trombone.
Phil probably a long time. Matt, like last weekend. But,
But the bottom line is I'm excited for it because they always like to do it in a hotel. I like the, gracious living. She's very attractive and they're close. So basically she said, I kind of talked to this woman about you because we're moving to Florida. She said, we still want to have you every few months. And I'm like, cool. But I'm pretty excited about the new cuck possibilities.
yeah, no, I mean, especially if she's good looking.
She's good looking.
See, I'm the opposite of you in that, like, I hope that your cuck's a weirdo. Like, I never want that because, that's not really a story. I fucked the guy in front of his wife. At first it was a story, but now it's like, I want the nightgown. I want the extras.
Well, they're still around. They're texting me.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, like,
But her brother died.
I want a new, I don't care.
But what I'm saying is that's why they didn't come here that one time.
Give a
He ended
shit.
up dying, so they're laying low for a while.
Pete Rose's sister? That's fucked up, dude.
But the beauty of this is,
Hey, speaking of deaths, we got none. Celebrity death has been going on like a motherfucker this
and nobody's
last
on
week.
the list.
And no one's on the list. My dad gave me a list, I think yesterday or the day before, of all the people that have died just this week or like.
But yeah, but they're all very old. John Amos from Good Times.
Yeah, there was a lot
Except
of that.
Dikembe, he was only 53.
Yeah, well, my dad missed that. He had Pete Rose, Chris Christopherson. Now that's someone I thought maybe someone would have him on a list. I actually thought
He
my
was
dad
late
might.
in his 80s, wasn't
He was old. I don't know exactly. John Amos, who's that?
he? The father from Good Times.
Okay.
Kid
It says
Dynamite.
Roots. Okay. Good Times and Roots, apparently. Frank Fritz from American Pickers. I don't know what that is. Dikembe Mutombo. John Ashton from Beverly Hills Cop.
Taggart.
Okay, Taggart. And then Maggie Smith from Harry Potter.
Yeah. Professor McGonagall.
I don't know any of this stuff, but that's a lot of people to
That's a
die in
lot of
like a
people.
week, and nobody had them on the death pool. We're all doing horrible this year.
Not me.
You have one. I'm just saying, like, as far as like,
I got a young one.
no, you're winning, but just in general, we usually have a
I
pretty
had
good.
two.
Well, maybe you do. I haven't done the score
I had
picking
two
very well
deaths.
this year, but either way, there's been only like one or two. Like usually at this point, we have like 6 or 7 on the list.
I had Shannon Doherty and
Oh, everybody has Shannon.
the one
Doherty.
that got me the points.
Yeah, that was the reason I didn't even bother.
Who's the one that got me all the points? Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, yeah. You're the only one that had him. Shannon Doherty, like 10 people had her, so I never even wrote it down. I figure I'll wait till somebody else dies to add
Yeah.
those up, because otherwise you're winning by Toby Keith.
I mean, I'm close to like sniffing 100 points.
I don't remember where you're at, but either way, you got a giant lead because of Toby Keith.
Yeah.
And we don't have that, man. And there's a couple people on my list that I was looking at yesterday. I probably should look up because I probably wouldn't even heard anything if they died.
You'd hear if anybody died.
No, I had some obscure people.
Dude,
on there.
American Pickers. You heard about that guy? He was on a fucking reality
But one of
series where he
mine
went
was-
into antique stores and found a diamond in the rough.
I know, but one of mine was like a Venezuelan soccer player. Like I wouldn't hear about that. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So I don't know. I need to look them up. But you're right, American Pickers. I don't even know what that is.
These guys go to antique stores.
Why would you ever watch a show of people shopping?
And they go to fucking yard sales. And hey, look what they found. This guy found the fucking
Who watches
Constitution.
this?
A lot of people.
No, they shouldn't be
Same
allowed to
people
vote.
that watch those fucking shows where you bid on a fucking storage unit that's abandoned and
Oh, Jesus Christ. Kill yourself.
yeah,
Do something productive, like
you get to
killing
see
yourself.
what's there.
Ugh.
Hey, it's time for a fuck you, right?
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't know. We don't got anything, do we?
No,
Fuck you.
we've had a nice little
We've
chat.
talked. We didn't talk about a lot of things, but we haven't talked in 2 weeks. So.
Altafiber.
Fuck you, Altafiber.
I switched to Altafiber because I was sick and fucking tired of my
Mm-hmm.
Spectrum bill going up. I have cable. I don't use the streaming stuff. I have cable. Just because, and it ragged me for my age, but there's some older shows that I like to watch from my youth.
Yeah, you're still a
Andy
Nick at Night
Griffith,
guy, you know?
Nick at Night.
Mm-hmm.
I watch Comedy Central, stuff like that. TV Land.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of those channels I just named are no longer in the lineup because they were fighting with the fucking company that owns them. But this one didn't say, like the DirecTV and the ESPN thing a couple weeks ago, it didn't say, we're working on a new contract with this one. This one said,
See ya.
the owner of this company is charging more than we feel we are getting out of it. We have removed these channels from our lineup. So I can't watch Barney Fife anymore. I can't watch fucking Gilligan's Island anymore.
You watch Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I would die if I had a sneak peek into your house and you're just sitting
Dude,
on the
this was-
couch watching Gilligan's Island.
Dude, this was stuff
fucking-
when I was a kid.
I
This
don't
is
watch-
It's nostalgic. For
I don't
me.
get that. I just don't get that. I watched Full House. I watched Family Matters, all that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not watching those now.
It was different then. There wasn't 1,000 shows on.
Well, I don't watch any show from when I was a kid. Any
I
of
do.
them.
See,
I mean, unless you count
Andy
WWE
Griffith
as show.
to me, greatest show ever.
Unless you count WWE as
But
show.
the whole point is now I can't watch any of them.
Yeah.
So now I've either got to go back to Spectrum or pay the $9.99 a month for the streaming that has these on it.
Yeah.
But when you do that, you have to go into the seasons. You have to pick the ones you want to watch. I don't like doing that. I just like turning the channel on, and there it is.
Yeah, you're old.
So I'm pissed off at Spectrum or at Altafiber for not even negotiating. You just fucking let them go.
You just gave it up.
It's like the fucking Bengals. It's like, oh, we're not even going to negotiate
Because
with Jamar.
I'm sorry to tell you, dude, the amount of people that need to be watching Andy Griffin at night is just not that big anymore. It probably isn't profitable.
It's Griffith with a TH.
I don't
It's
see
not
it.
Griffin.
I've never said it right once.
And it's nostalgic for me. It's a
I
show
get
I
that,
loved when I was a kid.
But
and I
y'all are
still
dying
watch it.
off, and it's just not paying anymore.
Dying off?
Well, people that are into that are dying off. You're one of the last. And, you don't got much time left either. So they're not going to invest a lot of money into that kind of shit.
I don't have much time left.
You never
I'm
know.
59 and I act 30.
Acting does not change death.
I'm healthy.
Oh,
I don't have diabetes.
I do. I don't get medicine for it anymore either. I might die any moment. Yeah, fuck you, Carosaurus.
Yeah, but anyway, fuck out the fiber for not negotiating. And now I either have to go back to Spectrum or I got to pay more for fucking,
That sucks. Right, I'll throw a couple fuck yous out. Fuck you to transmissions. Why do you have to give up on you at 200,000 miles? 200,000 miles isn't that much, is it? No. Yeah, it is. For a transmission, they usually last about 200,000. My transmission went out this week, and now I got to drop $5 fucking grand on a new one. I did get to meet some new auto people there that made me laugh. The guy that runs this auto shop is in a wheelchair that operates at probably about 25 miles per hour.
Oh, he holds ass.
I came walking in, and this fucking hillbilly came zipping out in this wheelchair. What do you want? And that's literally the way he talks. What do you want? I'm like, I called you. You didn't call me. And I was like, all right, well, I called someone. He's like, oh, you must have talked to Eric. Follow me. And then he zips 25 miles per hour. And I'm like walking fast trying to follow him. This guy gets in front of him And he goes, "Aren't you paying attention, dipshit? Move out of the way." And the guy looks at him and then he fucking flies through. I'm trying to follow him through. This other guy's yelling at him to slow down because he has something to say. Then, we pull up and this guy's just a fucking character fixing my car.
Dude, couldn't you go to like one of those pull and pay places, get a fucking transmission, have somebody you know put it in and
I
save
do
probably half the
not
money?
trust that. Well, this one I get a 3-year warranty with theirs. You don't get that. Apparently, if you buy it through Toyota, it only gives you a 1-year warranty, but it's brand new. But still, it costs like $1,000 more. He's getting me a used one, and whatever, and giving me the 3-year warranty and doing all that other shit.
And
Whatever,
it's still
dude.
costing you $5,000.
Dude, shit's it's a little bit less than $5,000. I got to do some other shit too, so it's gonna be $5,000 total probably. Either way, car shits cost so much more than it used to. I mean, like everything else, it's rose in the last 2 years for no fucking reason.
Well, have you ever thought of like, fucking subscribing to one of those, car care places where you buy a subscription, then they fix anything that happens to your car?
I've never even heard of that.
Oh yeah, they have that.
Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I actually have.
I've never thought about it. No, I got a feeling like after I get this done, though, I'll be. The guy's like
Vivek A. Fox is the fucking spokesperson. Her and Ice Cube, or Ice T.
Oh, I was going. Well, I like Ice T just as much as Ice Cube.
Ice T and Ice Cube.
That might get me.
It's called Car Shield. It's like insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for it every month, and then if something happens to your car, they fix it.
I had some other fuck yous, and I'll totally forget them now that you interrupted me and I'm a stoner.
That's my apologies.
So it's all right, though. It's your son's birthday. Go fucking party, dude. We
gotta work, but-
we gave these cunts an hour 12, somewhere around there.
That's plenty for you.
That's plenty
cunts.
of time, and we're not that, whatever. They haven't seen us in 2 weeks. Maybe you'll see us again sometime. Yeah.
Next week you'll see us.
Maybe. Man, you never know, dude. I ain't promising shit.
We want guests though.
All right. Until next week, man. Just put away the baby oil. Calm down, guys. Just fucking calm down.